Yo guys, it's Mike from Chess Lifestyle, and today we are training 53 minutes of chess. Welcome Gloin to the stream, and welcome Christian as well. Actually, Christian, you said you've never been this early. I don't even recognize your username, so apologies if I've forgotten, but maybe you've just been watching the VODs afterwards. Yeah, good to see you here. And yeah, for today, a couple different friends sent me some puzzles that they found interesting to solve, so I was gonna try solve them today. And yeah, afterwards I want to play some Blitz and analyze some Blitz because yeah, I haven't played any Blitz for a really long time. Actually, you'll notice that I've even been slacking my Puzzle Storm, my daily Puzzle Storm routine. Just because all of my chess time and attention has been going into this Chessable course, given my end of January deadline. So yeah, I wanted to play some Blitz and also analyze some Blitz as well, and try and learn from my mistakes. But as a warm-up, we'll begin with these exercises. And yeah, I don't know if I can't find the answer, I'll probably just have to wait for one of my friends to update me with the answer. But yeah, let's begin with this one first. I actually don't remember which friend sent me which. Maybe I have a rough idea, but okay, this is the first one then. So it's white to play. Oh, I realize I'm even blocking part of the screen, so how can we do this? Maybe if I do it like this and make this a bit smaller. Wait. Like this. Maybe that, okay, it's not ideal, but without spending lots and lots of time, making this look nicer, I think that's the best I can do. Yeah, let's see if that works. Okay, Christian says I watch in the background most times. Okay, glad you can join and solve some chess as well. And yeah, you're welcome to comment, welcome to just watch in the background. I don't mind either way, whatever works for you. But okay, let's try and solve this. So this is white to play and win, I believe. So let's try and evaluate, then find the right plan, and then candidate moves, and then calculate, visualize, find the right path. Okay, so a few things to know about this position. First of all, material is equal. We do have opposite coloured bishops on e6 and h8. Both of our kings are extremely weak, right? So the king on c7 is weak, the king on b1 is weak as well. Now it is white's turn to move, which might be a decisive factor. Arjun asks, also welcome Arjun to the stream. I think this is a different Arjun to some other Arjuns who join, so welcome. But yeah, you ask, can we post our solutions? Go for it. Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, if you write a solution, maybe just add the word move spoiler to your chat, so I make sure not to read it. But yeah, I would actually advise that you give this a shot with me once you think you've got the answer. So. Yeah, in terms of an evaluation, we've got equal material, opposite. Oh, we don't even have equal material. There's 5 against 4 pawns, so I can't count. So opposite colored bishops, black's up a pawn. Both kings are extremely weak, and yeah, I think one very important thing to work out sooner or later is if it were black's turn to move, do they actually have a forced checkmate or not? Because if they don't, that might mean we have an extra move to play a quiet move like a5 or something, right? So in this position, I'd quickly want to just see if that's the case. I mean, is there anything else to understand? I mean, the h8 bishop is hanging, the queen on f2 is hanging, but on a dark square we've only got a light squared bishop. Yeah, and before we look at all of our checks, let's just understand this. So the only check that black has is queen e1 or queen f1 or queen g1. So let's imagine queen e1. King a2 is forced. And then does black have any more checks? The only reasonable check is knight b4 check, in which we don't really want to go to a3, which would allow queen a1 check. So after queen e1 check, king a2, knight b4, king b3, there are no checks from the knight. Oh, but we do lose our queen. Right. So we're not getting mated, but we do lose our queen. So what that means is we probably need to either move the queen, cover the b4 square, or give a check on our first move. So that gives us some kind of indication. Okay, so what candidate moves do we have here? So we've got queen d7. I guess we should always consider, queen d6, queen d8, knight takes a6 check. These need to be considered. Knight takes c6, knight takes queen takes c6, queen takes e5. These are all checks. Any other queen moves that could potentially make sense? Not really. I mean, queen c4, queen b3, it's a little passive. Okay, so aside from the queen moves, we've got that knight takes a6 move. Yeah, and there aren't any other moves that either cover b4 or give a check or move the queen, right? So I think it's going to be one of these moves. So let's start with queen d7 check, because this is very forcing. If king b8, there's just queen takes b7, checkmate. Yeah? So queen d7 check, king b6. What options do I have here? I've got queen takes b7. Check. I've got a5 check. So let's start with queen takes b7 check. If king a5, so not taking the knight, do we actually have a win here? Queen takes a6 check, king b4, and then queen b5 is checkmate, right? So queen d7 check, king b6, queen takes b7 check, king c5 is therefore forced. And now what? The only safe square check I see is pawn to b4 check, in which if king d6, queen d7 is mate, so that means king d4 is needed, in which queen b6 is checkmate. Nice. Okay, so actually I think that's completely forcing. So I don't know if everyone followed that, but queen b7, maybe how do I draw? I don't have, like if this was a Zoom lesson, I could draw some annotations, but this is just like a picture, so I can't really draw. But it's queen d7, king b6, queen b7, king c5, b4 check, king d4, and queen b6 is checkmate. So yeah, just a very nice forcing sequence, chasing down this king. And this is nice because, yeah, it means we don't even have to consider our candidate moves, because if we've got checkmate by force, well then that's good enough. Just double checking to make sure I haven't missed anything. I have missed something. Queen d7, king b6, queen takes b7, king c5, b4 check. What if they go knight takes b4? If they go knight takes b4, maybe I can go... No, queen d5, the knight is now covering that square. Ah, rats. So what do I need to play here? Maybe I need queen e7 check. In which, if black were... So what options does black have there after queen e7? Black's got king c6, king b6, and king d4. If king d4, then we've got queen takes b4 check, king d6 force, and queen e4 is not checkmate because it's king d2. Ah, for God's sake. Do you guys follow that? I'm saying queen d7 check, king b6, queen b7 check, king c5, b4 check, knight takes b4, queen e7 check, king d4, queen takes b4 check, king d6, queen e4 check, king d2. So I don't have a mate. So I'm now thinking if queen d7 check, king b6, queen b7 check, king c5, b4 check, knight takes b4 force. What about queen a7? Does that help? That forces either king c6 or king d6. Oh, and wherever the king moves, we can pick up the queen. That's enough for an advantage. Right? I mean, even if king d6, and we play queen takes queen and they take our bishop, we can at the least play queen back to b6 check and then pick up the knight. So we'll have a queen against bishop. Still down a pawn. Down 2 pawns. No, just down a pawn because the b pawns have traded. But yeah, that's good enough. Okay, nice. I think that's the solution then. This queen a7 check skewering the king to the queen. So I don't know if anyone has any alternative answers, but I think I'm happy with that. It's either forced checkmate or it's winning the queen. But yeah, I'll have to message my friend about this. Actually, you know what? I'll just do this now because I don't really have too much time. So let me quickly send him a DM. Yo. I don't know how many minutes it's been. What, like 10 minutes? Should be in the last 20 of stream. Okay. Okay, nice. So that's one puzzle down. So let's move to the next one. Also, welcome Josh to the stream. Queen b6 is a nice finish. I mean, queen a7. You told. I'm trying to remember. I mean, that was one of the lines that mated, right? And it was a really nice mate. Yeah, I think it was just b4 check, king moves, and then queen b6. So yeah, nice finish indeed. Yeah. Okay, so this is another puzzle for me to solve. Again, it's a little bit. Okay, let's do it like this. Let's make it a little bit smaller so I'm not blocking the board. Yeah, let's do it like that. Okay. I don't like how the wait, this was the last one, which we already did, right? Yeah. Okay. Okay, so this one is also white to play and win. Yep, exactly, Josh. This is the puzzle you sent me. So, white to play and win. Let's try and solve it. Okay, so of course we should try and start with an evaluation. This is the best way to go about these exercises. 1, 3, 6, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Bishop, bishop, rook, 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 queen, queen. Okay, so equal material. We do have an isolated pawn on d4 though, which I just picked up on. There's a lot of tension in this position. Their bishop is attacking our rook on c7. Our bishop is pressuring their bishop. Our queen is on the line of their queen. We've also got pressure against g7. In terms of king safety, I feel like our king is a bit safer because black's not able to give any checks on the back rank. We do need to be a bit careful. I mean, black's king looks less safe given our bishop is hitting g7. So, okay, I think the plan in this position should be to try and counterattack and either win material or give checkmate. I think this is the vibes I'm getting. So what candidate moves would help with that? So queen g4 is one, rook g4 is another, maybe queen f6 is one, bishop takes g7 might be one, queen takes f7 is the only check, but probably too much. Rook f7, I don't believe it either. Bishop takes d6 as a backup, probably worth having. Anything else? Maybe rook d7 to try and pin the bishop to the queen. So okay, that's quite a few candidate moves already. So what have we got? Queen g4, rook g4, queen f6, bishop g7, rook d7, and bishop takes d6. So, okay. Let's begin with queen f6 because that looks like really threatening. We're threatening checkmate. If they take our queen, then we can play rook g4 check. And on king h8, bishop takes f6 as mate. So queen f6, the only way to stop the mate, I believe, is to play bishop takes e5 or queen takes e5. And obviously bishop takes e5 is the more sensible of the two. In which case, we have a bit of a problem because if we try and take on g7, they take with the bishop. So queen f6, if they take on e5, that means we'd probably have to play queen takes e5. And then we just get a trade, and it's probably nothing too special. So okay, before we analyze that any further, let's consider our alternatives. So, what about queen g4? That also threatens mate. Maybe there are multiple ways to block it, but again, what about this bishop takes e5? Do we really have something there? Don't think so. So queen g4, bishop takes e5, maybe rook takes e5? Queen isn't trapped though. There's like queen d6, queen d8, queen takes a2 even. What about rook g4? Rook g4, bishop takes e5 again. Maybe this time we can go queen takes d5, pawn takes d5, pawn takes e5, and again it's just a position. So rook d7, I guess they can always defend the bishop with like rook, a rook to d8, maybe like rook a to d8. Although probably on rook d7, f rook to d8 is better, so that if bishop takes d6, you're not hitting the rook. So then there's no bishop takes d6. I think they just take back with the rook. And okay, bishop takes d6 and starting position just queen takes d6. I don't really see what we've got there. So I feel like I've exhausted all my candidate moves. Okay, what about queen g3? This is also threatening mate, which I didn't see. Then they've got bishop takes e5 again. I don't really see the difference. Rook takes e5, let's say they play queen takes a2. We go rook g5, they just play g6. Don't really see it. Bishop takes g7 was another candidate, which I suggested at the start. So bishop takes g7. If king takes g7, oh, this looks very strong. I don't know why my intuition wasn't telling me more that this was a good move, but bishop takes g7, I don't think they can take it. King takes g7, just rook g4 check. If king h8, we just go queen f6 mate. If king h6, we just go queen f6, king h5, and queen... Ooh, queen h4 is mate. Not queen g5, because there's now a queen on d5 that controls that square. So yeah, bishop g7, king g7, rook g4, king h6, queen f6, king h5, queen h4, mate. So bishop g7, what else can black try? They can also take our rook on c7. So if they take our rook on c7, the move that comes to my mind is to play rook g4, threatening to play bishop f6 with checkmate. If rook g4, maybe they've got the move f5, which is really annoying. Although I do have bishop f6 check. If they take my rook, then I can go queen takes g4, king f7, queen g7, king e8, queen e7 mate. Yeah, so bishop g7, bishop c7, rook g4, f5, and bishop f6 check. The problem with bishop f6 check is that they can play king f7. Bishop g7, bishop takes c7. So maybe No, queen g4 still runs into f5. Bishop g7, bishop takes c7, rook g4, f5. Oh, Jesus. Bishop g7, rook c7. Are there any other moves here? I mean, maybe bishop g7, bishop c7. What about bishop h8? I mean, you're threatening to, if they take the bishop, play queen f6, check king g8, and rook g4, which will lead to mate. So, bishop g7, bishop c7, bishop h8. The problem is they can just play f5. And I think I've got nothing there. So, bishop g7, bishop c7. What else can I try? I feel like it has to be rook g4. Rook g4, but then f5. There's another problem aside from f5. Bishop g7, bishop c7. If rook g4, they can go queen takes f3. And wherever we move the bishop with discovered check, they can just simply take our queen, our rook on g4. And we'll be down way too much material. So bishop g7, bishop takes c7. Is there anything else? Maybe bishop g7, bishop c7, queen g4, and on f5, maybe you just play the quiet queen g5. They can't take your rook on e4 without blundering checkmate. Oh, Josh, I hate this with a passion. Why did you have to send me this? Bishop g7, bishop c7, queen g4. Is f5 the only move to stop checkmate? I guess they've got f6 as well. But no, not really, because then we can go bishop takes f6. So yeah, bishop g7, bishop c7, queen g4, and on f5, we go queen g5. What if they play like, I don't know, rook f7 or something? No, not seeing it. So, okay, I want to take a step back and think, are there any other moves that I've missed here? Just from the starting position. I mean, of the queen moves, I had both queen g4 and queen g3, and queen f6. Couldn't make any of them work. Queen f6, I was just as bishop takes e5. What about queen g3, bishop takes e5, rook takes e5, and wherever the queen goes, we just go rook g5, but then there's g6. And it looks okay. I mean, we can try push like h4, h5. It feels like we've got some initiative, but it's definitely not like a winning move or anything. I see some answers in chat. I'm purposely avoiding looking, just in case it's the full answer. I did catch a glimpse of rook d7 though, and rook d7 is something I considered earlier. Rook d7, I just felt like they'd play rook fd8, and I didn't see the follow-up here. Oh, the point actually, on rook d7, rook fd8, then there's queen takes f7. So that means, okay, on rook d7, rook a d8 is forced. So maybe there's something there. Rook d7, if rook a d8, there is this move bishop takes d6. Because if they take on d7, I take on f8, king takes f8. But again, it's just a position where we're slightly worse. So rook d7, rook a d8. Is the position changed now that we can actually throw in one of these like winning moves like queen f6, queen g4, or queen g3? So rook d7, rook a d8. Is rook a d8 forced as well? Be good to know if it's forced before we continue. Oh god. I feel like it is. Rook d7, rook a d8. Ah, okay, then we can play queen g4, defending our rook on e4 still. And they can no longer play bishop takes e5 because we'll take the queen. So rook d7, rook a d8, and queen g4. Oh, that's so smart. I wasn't anywhere near close to like joining the dots there. I mean, I basically just hit some resistance in my calculation. I just saw that queen g4, bishop takes e5. I didn't see anything. And I completely looked at rook d7 through a different lens altogether in terms of like winning the bishop. Just did not put the ideas together. So that's very nice if that's correct. Rook d7, rook a d8, and just queen g4 now. But queen g4, I mean, can't they just play g6? So it's still not good enough. So what about rook d7? Ah, for God's sake, rook d7, rook a d8, if queen f6. The problem is, they can play bishop takes e5 there because we can't take the queen because they'll take our queen on f6. So our most aggressive queen f6 is not working still. So what about if rook d7, rook a d8, rook takes d6? And maybe upon rook takes back on d6, now we can play queen f6. Ah, that's probably it. Yeah, that looks like it. Oh my god. Maybe what would have helped in the starting position is if like I realized that there are multiple defenses against queen g4 and realized that, you know, queen f6 is winning, if not for the fact that bishop takes e5 is possible. So rook d7, rook a d8, and rook takes d6. Rook takes d6, queen f6. I think that's game over. That's my answer. Oh, Jesus. How was that, Josh? Was that the correct answer? Okay, welcome Ilan. He says he's been doing Puzzle Streak. High score of 84, fantastic. I think I got a high score of like in the 70s. On Ponziani Master, at least. It's a bit of a grind though. I'm not sure how much I enjoy it. You didn't look at Queen f7 after Rook a d8. I did not, but does Queen f7 actually work? Rook d7 if Rook a d8, Queen f7 check. I mean, I looked at it briefly, but I didn't think this was leading anywhere because they can just take the queen. And if you take on d8, they just block. Like Rook back to f8. And even if you pick up on d6, they can pick up on e4. So I think the solution is Rook d7, Rook a d8, Rook takes d6, Rook takes d6, Queen f6. I think this is the answer. Yeah, and on Rook d7, there's no Rook f d8 because Queen takes f7. Yeah, I'm really satisfied with that. So, okay, Josh, if you can let me know if that was the correct answer or not, that would be much appreciated. Otherwise, yeah, we're just gonna have to wait. But I feel like that works. It doesn't work, but that's the first thing I looked at. Right. Yeah, like yeah, I did not look at Queen f7. You're right, the first time round. I did look at it on the second time though. But yeah, nice exercises to solve, and yeah, definitely trying to join the dots is a good idea. Okay, So what I want to do now, as I mentioned at the start of the stream, I haven't really had any time for like my own chess training. I've just been working on this Chessable course, which I have a deadline for in a few days. So I want to play some Blitz, and then I want to analyze some Blitz afterwards to learn from the games. So I'm going to play a Blitz game. Maybe 3+2, given I'm streaming as well. My mouse is extremely speedy. This is the first time I'm playing Blitz in my new accommodations. So I think there's a chance I'll be mouse slipping here. Okay, so we're playing a Gurgenitzer, and my general rule is always meet h4 with h5. It's generally quite a useful move because we get control over this g4 square. They no longer have ideas of h3. One idea of theirs might be to play like knight h3, knight g5. Knight f3 I can always pin immediately. And given that we're going to get a closed structure, I don't really mind trading bishop for knight. As long as this is a pin, I don't need to chop immediately. Although maybe queen b3 could have been a bit annoying. Maybe there's some ideas of this, I need to be careful. I can also take here. They can take with the knight though. I can also play king f8 to bait them into playing for the sacrifice. I'm spending way too much time here. Let's make a move. I'm gonna play this one with the idea that I want to take with the e pawn and try and put a knight on e6. I think that's my grand idea. Do I want to trade here? Yeah, let's trade off this bishop. I don't think we need to worry about g6 anymore. And let's think about getting a knight to f5. I think we can do it like this. We could meet this with a5 and on b5 play c5. Or we can just continue with our plan. Maybe we can play rook c8. Yeah, let's play rook c8. I wonder if a5 would have been useful actually. Maybe I should have gotten a5 while I had the chance. I was a bit afraid of a5, b5, c5, c4. This was my concern. Now a5 is really begging to be played. I think we can probably play it. Yeah, let's play it. I don't think I mind this opening so much. I think the a pawn is quite weak. I just need to keep an eye out on the clock. I mean, I can play b6 even. My knight is on a good post. I can put my rook back on a8. I can even castle kingside here, I think. It's probably fine. Yeah, do I want to castle sooner rather than later? Go on, let's castle. I mean, he does have some ideas of like going all out for the attack, but I don't think he quite has enough, especially now that he's castled. Okay. b5, b6 was my instinct. Let's just go with it. I do need to be a bit careful of this motif of knight b3 and trying to push the a pawn. So I need to watch out for that. Yeah. Okay, let's just go back to a7. Right. And if we play b5, I mean, what's going on there? Is that pawn a strength or a weakness? I'm going to argue it's a weakness. Okay, let's put this back. It's 3+2, so I'm not gonna flag. Hopefully. And probably I want the queen on c7, rook on a6, and get my pieces around that way. Really going for g4? Alright, let's start with this one. We might want to play for c5 ourselves, if he really goes crazy with g4, which he does. I can also put the king on h8. Do I want to do that? I think my h pawn is going to be quite weak. That's my concern. What's the best way to deal with this? I could also go with c5 in some instances. And I also need to speed up. Okay, let's go with this. I think my h pawn is going to be extremely weak. I don't think I'm lost though. Oh, he doesn't even take on h5. Wow. Then I'm actually quite happy. Let's put one rook here and the other rook on a8. And then we'll put a bishop on f8. I definitely think he should have taken. I don't know why he didn't. He can't bring another knight to c5 unless he moves his queen and puts the knight on d3, which he didn't do, which I'm quite happy about. Where's he going with this? I need to be able to play king g7 if he plays knight f4. I'm protecting this well enough. Unless he does this, but that's still not good enough. Oh, but he wins the exchange after as well. That's very annoying. Okay, that's a shame. But I think it's still fine. Okay, let's play this just to force the issue. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh my god, don't flag. That was way too close. Oh, and there's not a fork at the end, but I'm a rook down. I actually want to die. This was so unnecessary to allow all of this. Okay, I'm changing my mouse settings after this as well because I literally can't. I feel like any tiny movement makes like such a huge move on the board. Yeah, and this is why you can't get so low on time in 3+2. It's just really careless. And yeah, I'm even getting mated here. Let's just hope he blunders. I don't even have like a stalemate. It's shocking. It's shocking. Welcome, Plan. Yeah, life was good until this game. So let's analyze this game and learn from it. I mean, I think I was under a lot of control until I just had no time on the clock. Yeah, I used to have my mouse on full speed because I didn't have any good traction, but probably it needs to be way lower. Okay, let's try that. Yeah, I mean, just as things were looking good, I just blunder everything. So yeah, in the opening, yeah, this is slight advantage for me. And here it didn't like my bishop f5 at all. It just liked me to develop my pieces. I'm minus 0.7 apparently. Knight d7 if they play for b4. And we get a5. If b4, c5. Yeah, this was the kind of motifs I was discussing in the game. Yeah, and it looks very nice, doesn't it? So, actually, no, the reason why I didn't play knight d7 was because I was afraid of a sacrifice. But apparently there's nothing here. Just king e7. Ah, because this time now the f6 square is defended by the knight. So that's why knight d7 is so useful. I was a bit afraid of this knight coming in as well, though. But okay, computers as chill as one can be just plays queen g8 and says you got nothing. So, yeah, this is nice. Ilan says, I think you should have played queen d8 instead of king h8 to attack his weak h4 pawn. Ah. Yeah, I didn't see that idea at all. I did think about his h-pawn being weak, but I didn't think queen d8 helped. I felt like, did he not have a way to like defend it and keep up the pressure? But maybe this was better. We'll see. So g3 was played. Yeah, it wants to take, but at least okay. I took back with the right pawn in my head. Like e takes f5 is fine. Okay, and then knight d7, b4, and yeah, a5 was my instinct. Yeah, I should have just gone for it, I guess. And this is indeed the right way to go. And I was afraid of c4 here. This is why I didn't play this. Which is top engine move, so it's not stupid, but... Yeah, and I was afraid of cd5, but wow, knight c5 here. Knight c5, queen d4, and what's the point? Queen d5, and if we get a trade? Why is this so much better for me? Materials equal, I've got this weak pawn. But I've got a bishop, I guess. And I've also got this check, so what if like king e2? I just put my king on e6 apparently and go for this pawn, like what the hell is this? With king d7, king e6, but okay, castling is also much more reasonable. I like this a lot more. Okay. And I guess, yeah, maybe his king's just a bit weak. If he had castled, what was our refutation? Just take. I actually can't use this mouse. King e7. Is there something wrong with my... I've got a load of books on the cable of my mouse, so that's probably not a good idea. And now we put the king in the center. This is completely confusing for me. Like, why is this like better for black? Like, what if they just play like f4 or something? We just go rook c8. They just go knight f3 or something. Put a knight on e4. So we're just saying that we're a bit more active, and we've got like this weak g3 pawn to target if they ever try and play f4. And if they can't play f4, then their e pawn is weak. Okay. I think it's just to do with like maybe slightly more active pieces. So okay, that's good to see. So then what happened? Yeah, this whole thing happened, and I decided to claim that the a pawn would be more of a weakness than a strength. Rook a8. Oh, so we just take on b6 and we're fine. Yeah, makes sense. And if they play a6, in this case the pawn still covers these weak squares, like keeping control of his knight. Oh, that's very cute. And then queen c7. Okay, I can get behind this. We even play for c5 in some lines. Very interesting. Okay, so I don't have to react here. I can play a move like rook a8. That's very cool. Queen c7. Yeah, this is why Alan was saying queen d8 was a good idea. This, yeah, actually, yeah, nice spot. I didn't see this. Maybe white can just play queen g3. Yeah, this is top engine move. But then I can now play king h8. And now, you know, we have to be very careful not to allow this kind of idea. But yeah, still, I mean, this I think is promising for white. Like, they have pressure on h5. And I think this position, yeah, they should always take this. It's crazy that they didn't. I was just going to take back, and I was very worried of queen f3. But my thoughts were that, like, even if they take, I'm not lost because I can always play rook g6. And this was my thinking. Oh, it looks like rook g7 is a smarter way to do it, because on queen h5, then I can block with rook h7. And then I'm not just passively defending, but I'm actually actively defending my bishop. And also protecting f7. So that's a very cute maneuver, which I hadn't realized. But yeah, g5 was a blunder. I definitely felt that. But the problem is I have very little time at this point. And he did well to exploit my lack of time by... wow, and king g7 is just completely blundering. That's so annoying. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what I could have done better here. I mean, I kind of knew knight f4 was on the cards, which is why I played bishop f8 to play king g7. So given I saw this, maybe then I need to defend this in a different way. And maybe king h7 is actually the way to defend it. I mean, if bishop f8, can I actually defend king h7? No, because there's knight h5, right? But I need to be careful of this, yeah. Yeah, so that's why the engine is just saying, like, move the queen somewhere. But I definitely don't like the fact that their queen gets in. I guess maybe the point is that they have nothing, right? Like, they can take, and we just got queen e8 at the end. Yeah. And they have to move away somewhere. And then, yeah, we're just up material then, if they have to move away. But it's very hard to see all of this with so little time, and that's why you can't be playing on 17 seconds against your opponent's minute, because then you're just going to blunder like this. It's just stupid. But this is what happens when you don't play any Blitz and you also play Blitz while streaming. So, it's not easy. But yeah, okay. So one blunder is all it takes to lose at this level. And yeah, it's a shame because we just managed to probably get a better position, and here, you know, we're just trying to play for c5 or play for pressure on a5. I think we have a great, absolutely great position here. But okay, good to see the motif. Okay, Josh says, you got it, well done, fantastic. So yeah, rook d7, rook a d8, rook takes d6, rook d6, queen f6, GG. Yeah, thanks for the answer. And yeah, thanks for the puzzle as well. This was a nice one to try and work out. I guess Stockfish likes the pass pawn, indeed. Yeah, I mean, in general, pass pawns are very annoying and can easily become a strength. So even just practically speaking, maybe allowing this pass pawn was a bit too much. But I also didn't see how to avoid it. I mean, now I know that I can also play rook a8 and at least have a better version of this pass pawn scenario where I'm controlling a few more key squares. But yeah, if I took... I don't think this was good either. Yeah, the knight gets too active, my queen is very vulnerable. Yeah, like this is definitely not what I want either. So I think, yeah, this rook a8 is very nice. Or rook b8. Does the job as well. But yeah, okay, nice game. Yeah, let's play some more. Okay. Okay, so we get the black pieces again. This time we're getting a Benoni. And this time let's aim to try and keep up some speed. Now, this position, maybe I should have taken. But, okay, I'm used to my old repertoire of playing b6. Taking, I think, gives me a very, very easy game. Where I just play this Carlsbad structure. But this is like some reverse Reti against Collie. Which I'm completely fine with as well. I don't mind casting once he's castled so that there's no h4, h5. Very interesting. Maybe I should have started with bishop b7 then. Here, because he hasn't played knight d2 yet, I don't really want to take on d4. So probably I should play with d6. The one nice thing is he doesn't quite have this motif because my bishop's still here. So maybe that's useful. My instinct is to play knight here, but that does block this bishop. I can also pin the knight, I can also play knight b7. Bishop b7, I mean. I can also play h6 to try and force the issue. I could even do h6, g5, knight h5, and this is why I'm burning time for no reason considering all of these options. Go on, let's play h6. It's probably bad. I want to go for this. I think on bishop g3, I just got knight h5. I don't think he's got a sack on g5. I don't think it works. I think I can do this. I think I can. I think knight g5, I can just play knight g3. I hit the rook. I just want to take that bishop pair. And then play with the two bishops, open up the position, and see how that goes. I'd be really shocked if like knight g5 is working. Okay, I'm glad he's tanked here as well. Bishop e7, knight d7 is kind of like where I'm thinking right now. Okay, I think I just, for peace of mind, I want to take this in a classical game. Maybe I'd keep the tension longer. I even have bishop a6 here. The question is, do I want to trade that bishop? Do I want to trade that bishop? I think I do. I don't really see too much of a future of this bishop. There's no queen a4 check picking up my knight. I've castled my king, so be careful of that one when you do this motif. b5 probably is what I want if he's going to allow it. Let's go for it. And maybe even push for b4, although he can block with c4, but that does open up my bishop. Now, do I need to worry about this, or do I just go ahead for my plan? I think I'm faster. I don't really believe a queen h5, knight g4. It's a little bit slow. At least it felt slow, but maybe it's not slow. I don't know. If I take on c3 and he plays knight g4, then how bad is it really? Surely we can throw it in. I don't even know. I don't know. Okay, this is a good place to try and think of what's correct. If he goes knight g4, I can always play king h7. I don't think it's that bad. Do we throw it in though? That's my question. I think we should. I think we can make use of the b file. Yeah. Let's play rook b8. I think we can just meet queen g4 with knight g4 with king h7. It looks a little hairy, but I think it holds. Let's do this. Maybe rook b8 is too good to be true. Now f6 probably is necessary. It feels terrible, but again, how does he actually win? It really does feel terrible though. And I can always push f5 eventually. So let's play f6 and let's try and bring the queen to the defense. Now we can actually play queen e8. He doesn't have time to take the rook because I take here. And okay, again we need to speed up. Queen g6 and let's play for h5. We also have the e4 pawn. So how is he going to have to defend this? Now I'm threatening h5 g4, which didn't work a move before. I think this looks good. Right. Maybe f5? Maybe even c4. Let's go with c4. I mean, if he takes, maybe I can take on e4. I want to get my knight into c5. He's going to get his knight into f5. That's really annoying. Okay, let's play it anyway. I think I can do this. And I think I can take on e4 next. That was my plan. Oh my god, I didn't see that. So I have to play this? Jesus. 7 seconds. Holy crap. Yeah, I'm not ready for these scrambles at all. I need to play fast. Okay, I want to play f5. But then, yeah, let's definitely play it now. I am completely blanking. I am completely blanking. Holy crap. That's a terrible move. But I had to make something. Move something. Oh, I'm blundering everything. I really didn't want to do that because he takes with the pawn. But maybe this? Somehow I'm okay. Let's do that. I want to bring my bishop back to g5. Oh, this is so hairy. Maybe I should have thrown in a check. Let's just do that. Don't know what it achieves. Oh, God. Let's play for f4. I don't see a threat. Let's go for it. Does it work? Shit, it doesn't work. Oh, it doesn't work and I even blunder the bishop. That's annoying. Oh my god. Oh my god. That doesn't work. Fuck. Ah! No! No! This is why I need to... Jesus Christ. Yeah, this is kind of... It's like... I have no practice right now of playing. Oh, it's actually awful. Oh, I don't even get the stalemate. I definitely should have threatened the checkmate instead of just like playing the check to hope. Yeah, I need to make the mouse slower as well. Like it's way too slippy. It's so slippy. I literally can't do this. But yeah, interesting game. Interesting game. Probably I had some chances to make it cleaner earlier as well. But the big point that I was thinking was like was this moment here. I mean, I saw that I had this combination. I still can't move my mouse properly. What is going on? It's almost like the traction. It feels like I'm on an ice rink. That's the problem. I'm on an ice rink. It's like too smooth. I'm not used to this. I'm not used to this. So in this position, I was either wanting... I can't move this. I swear to God. Okay, I need to find... What can I use instead? Okay, I'm gonna try some cornflakes. I'm gonna see if cornflakes works. We're gonna go with some Kellogg's. This will be the Chess Lifestyle mousepad review. See if this is any better. Oh god, it's so much worse. Maybe the cardboard on the inside? Maybe, just maybe, I should actually invest in a mouse pad. That would probably be a good idea. But yeah, let's actually try cardboard and see if that's actually any better. Okay, let's try this. Oh, that's actually better. Using the brown side of a breakfast cereal box. But yeah, basically, Bishop E3 was my other idea here, just trying to go for checkmate. And I chickened out because I wasn't sure what happens after knight F8. And I guess it is scary, right? Because at the very least they can do this. So probably then, but I don't know, probably it's something I just have to risk. I mean, even in this position, they've got this check. And we get this endgame, which is probably just equal. Just play h5. So yeah, maybe I'm not winning here at all. But yeah, let's analyze the game and try and learn something from it. Oh god. Okay, Ilan. Thanks for tuning in. The ghost has returned. Yes, Hakeem. Are you winning? No. No, Chabla. Unfortunately not. Yeah, don't worry. Sometimes it happens. Yeah, I know. But it's still frustrating to lose these time scrambles, because I think as a Blitz player you really need to make sure you're not losing these. I mean, like, if you lose in position, that's one thing, but losing because you can't handle the heat, then you need to up your mentality, you know. Like, improve your nerves, basically. But yeah, let's learn from this. So started off as this reverse Reti type position. Yeah, d6 is slightly inaccurate. Nowadays I would just take nowadays I would just take this and play d5. And yeah, I think this is just very pleasant for black. I guess it's like a reverse. I guess it's just like a Caro-Kann exchange where white can still play to c4, Panov. So yeah, okay, it's interesting. This is also interesting. d6, wow, this is +1. That's quite a surprise. Let's have a look. What does it want from me? It wants d5 here. Oh, I hate the idea of d5 and allowing e5 though. Maybe just bishop b7 then. Yeah, just keep these pawns as they are. I think that makes a lot of sense as well. And now d6 is playable. That's so interesting. So why is d6 +1 here? e5 now? Okay, I'm so confused. So if we play bishop b7, and now e5 is no longer as good. This is... what? Why does this make any sense? How can rook e1 and bishop b7 be an improvement for black in terms of this e5 push? You know what I mean? So knight e8. If they go e6, we play f5. Okay, I can kind of appreciate that, kinda. Although knight g5 looks quite scary. Knight c7. I guess this does nothing, we just move. Yeah, and maybe this is even weak. Okay. Maybe it could be to do with this kind of motif when the bishop's not on b7. So in this position, if I play d6, and they go e5, and I go knight e8, they can take on c5. What the hell is that? They also have bishop e4, which makes more sense. Provoking d5, which I don't want to play. But taking on c5, huh? What is this? Like, oh, are they gonna do this? Or are they gonna do that? Oh, that's why. So e5 is strong because they want to exploit this diagonal. That's cool. I didn't appreciate that. So yeah, maybe that means then I need to be playing bishop b7 sooner rather than later. Especially on e4, because e4 actually threatens to move the knight and then do this, right? So that's something I never picked up on, so that's good to see. Okay, and I went for this, which Engine said is completely fine. Oh, and it didn't like my trade here. How interesting. So it prefers just developing knight d7, maybe even e6. I don't know. I mean, I feel like my king's actually quite weak on the light square, so it makes some sense to try and trade this guy off. Yeah, I'm surprised to see this as +1. Wow, this plan is just actually really good for them. That's really shocking to me. Yeah, and rook b8 is too slow. It's just too slow. I should just play rook queen e8. I mean, this was like partially my idea. I just didn't think it was so useful because knight g4 I'm not in time to push because they can take. What? I can? Knight h6? King h7, what a move. There's no discovered check because of queen takes. Except there's knight f7, but it doesn't do anything. We just go king g8. And all they have is to repeat. So they need to actually trade here and then take on f5. In which we take on c3. And then it's just a position where apparently we're slightly worse. I guess we are a pawn down. Wow. Okay, so yeah, rook b8 was just too slow. I was definitely feeling it a bit. I thought they might try f4, to be honest. I mean, I was starting to get a bit nervous about this. Because f4 is just the way to go, because on f6, but now knight f3, and now you've got more pressure. Although I am in time with queen e8, okay. Wow, knight h6, some crazy moves. So this was at least practically a good try. I liked my c4 move. And in this position, wow, I should actually just give up the file and take on b1. Or play g4, which is what I did. Yeah, I completely missed my pawn on e7 was hanging. That's why I blundered this. The rook b1, rook b1. Why is this so significant? And now this is actually working. Queen f7 here. I mean, this is very similar to the game, is it not? Knight e4, knight e7. Ah, but they blundered by taking here. Which allows me to transpose back into that line. Oh, rook b8. Oh, rook b8 is such a big miss from my opponent. Because that's just winning an exchange. Because I take this, I defend my knight, but I lost the rook. So yeah, I simply lost an exchange here, which I missed. And again, he missed a win here? What's the win? Maybe it's just my g-pawn is hanging. Maybe just queen takes g4. Yeah, just queen g4 is good for white. Yeah, makes sense. So rook b1 allows me to defend both my queen and the pawn. f5 I thought was smart. Because I don't want to play f5 here when there's knight g5. But now that the knight goes away, f5 is good. This was a nice move though, which I hadn't seen. So maybe that's the drawback. Yeah, rook b e8, that's a very nice move. Limit that rook first and then play with f5. You can see f5 is the next move. So yeah, this rook e6 was very strong. And then I completely started to choke this. I mean, this was really rough. I mean, I guess my position does suck. Ah, bishop f6 would have been the way to do it. Yeah, I had so much pressure on this pawn. I was really looking for a way out of it. I just couldn't see one. But bishop f6 is the saving grace, which, yeah, very tough to find. And then now it's all over. Except he blunders. He blunders this because he's trying to flag me instead of just winning the game. When you've got a winning position, you should just win the game instead of trying to flag. Yeah, and both sides are making mistakes here. Queen g7 was no good. King g7's a ballsy move to make. Queen f6. Okay. Oh wow, I just grabbed the pawn and say there's no checkmate. I mean, you have to have nerves of steel to be able to take on a2. Yeah, and f4 was the right break. I think this is a much more reasonable plan, especially given the time situation. Like, playing against the opponent's king has to be the better plan, at least from a practical perspective. I mean, yeah, I couldn't make queen bishop e3 work. I saw this check, and I was just like, there's no follow-up here. Oh my god, I can sack the bishop. Yo. I was like, if I defend the bishop, I'm almost certainly getting mated here. So that's why I didn't go for it. But I can actually sack the bishop. That's kind of crazy. I think this is way too much risk to play for this. I mean, my king is almost getting mated here. That's crazy. Yeah, I've got some perpetua. I mean, it's definitely not like I've got some like counterplay, like my king is too weak. So basically, yeah, bishop e3 is just not good. So I think I did the right thing to not enter it. But yeah, I think I blundered everything at some point. Yeah, I played this bishop d4. I'll be honest, it wasn't to win the queen. Bishop d4 was simply missing that the knight can take. I think I just wanted to give a check and then see. So yeah, this was like a terrible oversight for a number of reasons. And yeah, h5, that would help consolidate the position. Makes a lot of sense. And probably I should be looking to try and trade off this pesky knight as well. I mean, the knight and queen work so well together. Yeah. Yeah, so couldn't you take on g2 after the check? Yeah, exactly, I could, but then I lose the bishop, and then, I mean, queen and knight against queen is like really, really risky. Yeah, but yeah, this was a shame, and it's even a bigger shame that I don't even pick up the queen. And yeah, this was just full meltdown, and this is what you can't do, right? Like, at least I could have taken on a2 and tried to fight this. I mean, okay, sure, he would have just traded queens, which apparently isn't as clear because of these pawns are so bad. That's crazy. Okay, I mean, it's still winning apparently, but I don't know. Yeah, and this is like Alekhine's advice, right? He basically said when you blunder in chess, you've got to play the best move on the next move. That has to be your default reaction. You can't just blunder one move after the other, otherwise you're completely toast. So yeah, this is a good lesson. Isn't it queen and knight is usually preferred over bishop and queen? Exactly. Yeah, the queen and knight, their types of move really complement each other well. Yeah, this is why they have an edge, exactly. Even though white's pawn structure is a bit naff. Yeah, my king is quite weak, and the knight and queen work well together, so it makes sense. But I did well to make their king weak. The problem was... oh, that's so cool. Here, bishop e3, I've actually got other checks. I don't have to check on h1. I've even got this check. What is that? Like, that looks so strong. King e1 only move. And I can definitely get behind this. I mean, I can see why this might be close to winning even. I mean, queen b4. King f1 is only move. Wow. And queen b5, just take the pat. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, in the moment when I saw this bishop e3, I was only looking this way. I didn't see this move at all. Okay, I'm going to increase my mouse speed again, now that I'm on the cardboard. Now it's getting stuck too slow. Let's go back to 15 and see that. Once we get the right mouse speed, then I'm going to be cooking. Like, I can feel it. But yeah, let's play one final game then. That was good to learn. So what did we learn from this game? We learned in the opening about these e5 bishop e4 shenanigans on my a8 rook. The idea to trade off the bishop pair was fine. His counterplay of queen h5 and knight g4 was actually strong, so I need to take that a bit more seriously. Yeah, at one point we played f5 on the king side, which allowed his rook to enter on the open file. So I should challenge his rook by playing rook e8. That was one more thing. yeah, I guess that's like the feelings. And then yeah, this endgame. It's tricky. Maybe try not to get so low on time. Okay, let's finish with one final game. We'll see if I get one back or if I lose all three today. Okay, what a name. Let's go. So black again for the third time. But let's play this Garganitza. To be fair, I could have played with d6. I've been looking into d6 as well as an alternative here. But in a Blitz game, I'm definitely fine with this. In h4, I'm not afraid of this at all. Okay, so he wants to play for g4 here. I've got enough pieces on it though. Unless he takes my knight, but then I'm not worried. Do I want to play with bishop f5? Again, I'm taking too long. Go on, let's bait it. I don't even care about this. Oh, maybe I do care a bit. Okay, so much for that. But now he's not supporting g4. You know what? Let's play 97. Let's develop. I've got two pieces defending the knight. He goes queenside. So now I want to play on the queenside. So let's start with b5. Let's put a knight on b6. The question is, do I want to throw in queen a5 as well before I start this venture? I don't think so. I think I want to be playing with this plan and put a knight on c4. Okay, I can take that though. The only problem is he's gonna get in. Do I want to take this and play with knight f5? I'm gonna try something very clever. I'm gonna take. Oh, but I need e6 as well. So many moves I need to get in. I was thinking I want to play bishop f8, so when I play knight f5, I can play knight g7. This was my grand idea, to try and hold the king side and then just have a free attack on the queen side. But the problem is if I don't play e6 there, he's going to play e6 himself. Now my bishop can't take back. So yeah, I think I'm a bit slow to get this in, but I might just try it anyway. Can he sack? I don't think so. Let's just play. But now I can't really play this without. Bruh, I don't know. Go on, let's play it. I'm guessing he'll play bishop f2. Oh, wow. What? That can't be a good move. Okay, let's just take here. And then let's just play bishop h6 to provoke g5. And once we've provoked g5, then we have another chance to win this position where we failed to the game before. So let's put the bishop now on f8. The only fear we have to worry about is potential sacrifices. Otherwise, we are completely winning this game. Probably he's going to try and sack everything here, so I need to be careful. Take. What do I do? Maybe even play queen e7. Oh, that's so annoying. It's so ugly. What's the best way to deal with this? There should be a clean way, which I'm not seeing. I don't see it. I don't see it. Am I gonna have to play this ugly move? Go on, you know what? I'm gonna argue that we have all the time in the world. So I'm gonna play queen e7. He doesn't even see it probably, this f5. I'm gonna bring my king to g8 and then do like the longest rerouting of my pieces. Because I genuinely feel like I have the time. I don't think he's got any plan here. And that's the nice thing about closed positions once you're dominating. I mean, it's really difficult for them to play. Okay, I need to be very careful that I don't get, like, done over by some stupid fork or something. Oh man, I don't even... Oh, this is so annoying. I don't have... After all of that talk about how great this position is, like, why am I choking this? Alright, let's just get on with playing a5. Again, I'm running out of time. Okay, let's play this. So he does go for this, okay. I'm guessing he's gonna sack. He doesn't, okay. But now I can trade everything. Let's take this way. Oh, he takes my c-pawn. I didn't see that. So maybe I can defend it? I know he's got this move, which I just saw. Oh, I didn't even see he has that. Oh, I am so annoyed. Ah! Okay. Yeah, again, no time on the clock. No time on the clock. This is the problem. This is the moral of today's story. And I don't have the instincts to fight this because I'm very rusty. And I'm also commentating, which is... Oh, he's got a whole minute! He's got a whole minute. Oh, I'm so cooked. I am so cooked. Okay, at least we got the bishop to a better square. I can hope to put my king on the square. Oh, are you kidding me? That is actually horrendous. I mean, this is a classic case of being overly frightened of a move that probably isn't even working. Then wasting too much time being too confident that they've got nothing. When I probably had like 100 tempi to just mate him on the queen side. Oh my god. Okay, well, I'm glad we played these games because I mean, clearly I'm making mistakes and we need to fix this. But yeah, nothing but is at thought of the opening at least. So, you know, all my recent work on like preparing with Gurgenitz and Modern, like I'm clearly, I clearly know what I'm doing. But yeah, no, this was pretty bad. Pretty bad. I think I just didn't expect his knight to come round, and the knight was actually very strong. I think if I knew that time was of the essence, then I'd need to speed up and like just go on with my attack and not stress so much. On move 16, Plan asks, why not bishop e7, f5, ef5, e6, knight b6 takes on f7, king f7. I wonder if there's rook e1 at the end of that position and trying to just play very fast on the e file. I think that was like what I was afraid of. Charles says, I'm not sure, but was h6 g4 at all better than bishop h6 right away? I have the feeling no. I feel like I want to keep that side of the board closed, but f3 is apparently a mistake. Knight f5 is the move, but I didn't see why after this. Is the point that I can play bishop h6 here with some knight e... it's probably that. Let's see. Oh, just c5? Okay, bishop h6 is good. And on g4, we do have knight e3, which if I saw, probably I want to play it, right? Unless he can play g5, but then I was thinking I can even take on g1 if needed, if my bishop's going to get trapped. But wow, c5 is actually super strong. If they take... Yeah, we got d4. Wow, okay, that's cool. Yeah, and apparently here I've even got c5 now, which is quite shocking, given the bishop is still on this line. So I guess if they take it's again this d4. Is this the point? Oh, I can even take on e5, but d4 feels better. Knight e4, bishop takes e5. Interesting. Yeah, still so much to learn about this opening. So if the opponent just makes a nothing move, am I actually just completely taking over here with a c5 idea? I guess this position isn't as strong because the knight isn't as strong on f5. Like the pawn isn't pushed here. So I guess f3 then it's really begging for this. I mean I literally just thought that the bishop does a good enough job of controlling these squares. But I guess not. I mean c5, what if they play like g4 or something? hg4? Oh, and here we can even just trade and then we're very happy. Yeah, that makes sense. Damn, and probably knight c6, yeah. Yeah, okay. Knight f5, wow. Okay, that's good to know. So I play knight d7, I play b5. Oh, and he doesn't like this at all. Just prefers a5 immediately. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm just a bit slow with this whole plan. Even though it kind of works, and this was just really wrong to just give me this dark squared bishop. Ah, and I even have this. Oh, is this what you're saying, Cha? Yeah, just take on g4 and just take on h4. And I just win a pawn and I keep the h file. Or do I? What if they play like rook h1? Oh, now I've got bishop h6. Holy crap. Yeah, and the point is if they take, well then I take the h file, right? Unless they can play queen f3 and play for rook h1 next. But yeah. King e7, b4, queen e7, all apparently fine. I mean, I'm surprised this is so fine for me. I mean, I understand I'm a pawn up, but... b4 and c5. Just open up the center for this bishop. Yeah, I need to just do this. Yeah. So this position is still good for me, which I knew. But yeah, I completely got spooked out by this bloody f5 push. And e6. I got completely spooked out by this. In fairness, if I take, I'm probably busted here. But bishop d6, if they take, we get Plaon's line. And I was afraid of this, but not if we've cleared this file. I mean, this rank, so that we can play rook e8. Ah, that's so smart. That's the way to do it. Bishop d6 here is super nice. I looked at bishop e7, but I wasn't convinced. I think I was afraid of rook e1 here. And I was just scared of this. But apparently this is still fine. I don't believe it. King g7. And we don't care. Ha! Bishop g5 and we pick up the rook. Nice. Very nice. Yeah, but okay, bishop d6 is actually a really nice solution. Yeah. Yeah, so... Instead, I get my pieces all twisted up. Which was not very wise of me at all. And this plan was just so unbelievably slow. I just spent like the last 6 moves getting myself in probably a slightly worse position. And then he goes for this break, again when I have no time on the clock, so fantastic practical decision. And yeah, I thought this would be fine, and I had no understanding that my pawn on g6 was weak. So... yeah, when I take on e6 here, my pawn on g6 is going to be weak. Okay, I've got to keep that in mind. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, of course, at this point, everything is just collapsing. My king is super weak as well. I thought this was actually a decent attempt to try and hold. But, yeah, his pieces just coordinate absolutely perfectly. It's unbelievable. But yeah, with a weak king and no time on the clock, like, you know, you're really close to... you're really close to losing. So yeah, wow. That's a pretty rough 0 for 3. But... I think it's just a matter of rustiness of not playing enough online, not doing my daily puzzle rush, being a bit stressed from having this deadline of writing this course. So okay, it all adds up, right? So okay, it's fine, and the most important thing is we actually tried to learn from the games, which is nice, which is really nice. Plant says, I have tips that I am Levy and Hikaru said, if you are stuck, just play simple and solid moves without blundering and move quickly. Yeah, simple and solid. I mean, when you're low on time, you really want to be consolidating the position. And this is actually what I tried to do in this position. Even though I was down in this position, I put my rook on a dark square, I put my knight on a sticky square, I reroute my bishop to a square where the knight is defending it, where it covers e7 and gives my king some space. The problem is I'm just completely, utterly lost. So no matter what I do, it's just completely wrecked. Yeah, this opening for black looks really good now I see the eval. Yeah, I mean, this Gurgenitsa Modern I think is really beautiful stuff, and this is what I'm writing my course on. This is what I've been spending the last few days, like really working hard on making this as robust and as thorough and as entertaining of a repertoire that I can do. And yeah, it's going well. I just need to keep up the work and, you know, not indulge in some like bullet addiction or something like this, and then I'll be fine. Like I think I'm on course for finishing the course. What is and it's a Chessable course, by the way, and Grandmaster Damien Lemos is helping me with it as well. So yeah, it's gonna be good. But yeah, what's your take on the French defense? My take is that it's objectively a very good opening. It's definitely a stylistic opening that's not to everyone's taste. So be very careful with making it your repertoire, because I mean, if it's not your taste, you're just going to lose a disproportionate number of games than if you were playing a different opening. But okay, if it does suit your taste, then that's great. And I mean, you really need to have good calculation skills, good concrete defensive skills, but it's a very ambitious counter-attacking opening, and also has a lot of strategical benefits to fall back on. So I mean, it really asks a lot from the opponent, which is why like a player like Nepo is fantastic at the French, because you know he can deal with dynamics, he can deal with calculating the defense. So yeah, it suits him well. And for players like Ding Liren as well, like I mean, like yeah, maybe he's not as dynamic, but okay, it has strong strategical foundations, and he can calculate, he can defend, which is what you need. But yeah, that's my take. I played it for 5 years as a junior, so I know. Yeah, the name of the opening is the Gurgenitsa Modern, and yeah, Hikaru plays this a lot in Blitz. It's one of his main Blitz repertoires. It's either the modern Gurgenitsa, or he plays with 1e5. I mean, this is what Hikaru plays in online Blitz, and he crushes everyone with it. So it's a really cool opening. It's also extremely rare, and that's why I think it's like the perfect course to make as well, because I mean, you know, you've got 1,000 courses on Caro-Kann, but not a single online course of Gurgenitsa Modern. So it's about time that this opening gets some recognition. And yeah, hopefully in a few months you can check out my course. I think it's really going to be good. But yeah, I think guys, on that note, I'm going to take a bit of a rest, because I actually have some chess lessons to teach in around half an hour. But yeah, this was fun. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. As always, glad to see some old faces, glad to see some new faces. And yeah, see you guys on Wednesday for some more training. Okay, adios.